Greetings and salutations everyone. It's literally been a full day since I played the game. I spent all of yesterday chilling out with some friends, had some good times. But previously on, well, welcome back to Divinity Original Sin 2. Previously we got to our shop area after doing some kind of easy fights, pretty easy ones. And this episode, well, what we're going to do this episode is actually not make... Well, we're not going to talk too many characters this episode. We're going to go and pretty much slaughter everything. We do have our objective being to get a purging wand, which we will do in one of two ways. Well, we'll be doing both ways. Well, not both ways. We'll be showing every... I'll try and show every single purging wand, but you only need one. I will say that right now. But there's two ways to get past Shriekers.
All unliving. The king soon comes. Swear your loyalty.
Okay, now we have a fight, which these are void gators or void salamanders. They're a little bit on the mean side, but we should be able to take care of them pretty easily. What we want to do is actually get to this guy. So we're going to use Backlash to hit this void salamander. Then we're going to use Claw Form on him. See if we can put him to sleep. Which you can't. Unfortunate. Which means Fane's going to probably get killed this turn. Might be able to one. Yeah, these guys do get attack of opportunity. So I want to move as far as I could. Oh yeah, they just decided to be dumb. That's great. So, we're going to summon Incarnate. Yeah, we're going to clear this area so we don't have to worry about clearing stuff later on. An episode's taking 45 minutes just to get through a fight. This is kind of what we're going to be doing for the most part later in the game anyways. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh. We're fine. We knocked down him. Now we can get Lucer to do some pretty good stuff. Let's move her over here first. Favorable wind.
I am death and light.
And Fane is fine. Oh, beautiful stuff there. Your red pills can't really do much, so what we'll do is we'll fortify, well, mend armor and fortify, just for some convenience. And we know that the green lizard, oh, he's not knocked down anymore. Well, that's great. Instead what we'll do is we'll have Fane 1. Just to be safe. These enemies will focus on poison, but because Fane's undead, with the mask as shapeshifter, they're going to waste their time in that regards. Like, yeah, Lucer got poisoned, but Lucer is honestly just fine now. Now we can do with Cursed Blood. Applies decay, causing guys to take damage when healed. Yeah, it's a pretty good item to get. Now Lucer can actually just get a rallying call, or rallying cry. But yeah, now he's bleeding and I believe decayed. Not entirely sure, but you know, it's all good. Lucer, go over here. She will get hit by an attack of opportunity, but she will be fine. And no one else really needs an armor frost. Instead, we will use electricity on him. Since he'll move next. Boom. And whirlwind. Now, if we could get over there with 2 AP, that'd be nice. Which we can. Boom. And hit him again. Then we'll end our turn.
I am the scourge. I am the light.
Well, you ain't nothing now. You're gonna be dead in a couple seconds. These voice elements, they can sometimes be an issue. Kinda depends, really. They are level 6, and they're usually me when I fight them. They're actually a lot meaner than usual. But now we can loot these guys.
You have my thanks, milady.
Oh, something happened with Red Prince there. Oh yeah, this is another blessed area. So, during that fight, Red Prince actually heard something from his god. Here we go. I'm gonna up the void, which is pretty good. But now that I think about it, my amulet has something quite special on it. There we go. So, if you look at gear and see empty slot underneath the level, I can't show where it is, but you can see the level in the stats there under immunity to stun. In the empty slot, that means you can put a rune in. These are the runes, they all do different stuff based on what they're equipped into. So in this case, if I put in a venom rune, I would get 5 accuracy, which is okay. But if I put in a small masterwork rune, it has a rune put into it, Hain Extract just takes it back out. But that's what you can do. You can also go into gear and see where all your runes can go. Like right now I can give Red Prince something, or I could give Rosette something. So let's try for a weapon. If you insert a rune, you get poison damage. His bones, which actually is going to be quite good. Now, if we put poison on a shield, poison resistance, which we'll do that for now because that is Red Prince's item. Pretty handy stuff, that. Let's see what we can loot. I guess I could show right now, when you have this little inventory screen up from what you're looting, you can move it. I'm going to move it down here next to Loser. Just for some oh wait, it moves regardless. Never mind. Let's go over here now, because there is another fight this way.
What strange witchery is this?
There's a hidden wall. Ah! I'm going to do something interesting. This is the Vault of Brachus Rex, which we were there before. It was that area under the Wound Castle. There's a ton of different vaults.
Hey you! Let me see what you've got under there. Go on. Show me your... Pecker! Wait, do you even have a pecker? Still opening that mouth of yours, are you? Careful with that. I quite like the look of it.
I'm going to say right now my character's frozen. Basically don't interact with anything in here.
See, the thing is, just stop. No one cares what you have to say.
Oh. Why are you still speaking?
How awkward. See, the thing is, just stop. No one cares what you have to say. You're embarrassing yourself. Leave before you hurt yourself too.
Yeah, that's a fact. But right now we're frozen for pretty much extra time we were in dialogue, so we're frozen for longer. You don't want to interact with stuff. This place is all about some trickery. There's a door over here, well, a magic barrier. We can't go through there. We have to work our way all the way around. Which you can do.
Clever.
Just like the entrance, there's some hidden stuff. Just all around the place. But yeah, I'm not going to interact with too many items in here, because most of the time the game will just be like, eh. And it'll just stop us. Now what I want to do is I'm going to make me and Lucera go over here. I'm going to have Fane go over here, and Red Prince is going to go forward.
Didn't I tell you to leave?
No, Red Prince is... Red Prince should have went forward first. That's fine now. There is dialogue, but he was basically just gonna say, I'm gonna fight you now. So, do not worry. He's not exactly... Well, it's not... He's a character that I kind of just gloss over most of the time anyways, but there is an item we want to get in here. Well, there's a lot of items we want to get in here. Oh, he's so close to being dead. Can we hit him from here? We'll actually try. Nope, he's not sleeping. The Chloroform is a good skill for Fane, just in general. So this guy's gonna move next. Can I get a totem up there? I cannot. We'll summon out Incarnate and just try to take care of this guy. And 5. I will say you can combine multiple summoners together, so you can have one that summons stuff and the other person fuses and everything. Which I can recommend a little bit. It just doesn't seem worth it to have multiple summoners in my opinion, but if you wanted to, you could. Right, if we can get rid of Trompedoy's armor, which I don't think we can. We can get rid of his magic armor. He's got very little magic armor, so we'll go for that. And burn. Now we're going to use Mend Metal. Just a Red Prince, just in case. Yeah, because he's going to go for magic armor most of the time. It's just to be safe. Now if I can get Lucette over here, I could use Dazzling Bolt on him, High Ground. This is slowly but surely getting to her groove. Whoa, he moved fast. That's because he used Tactical Retreat. It gives you Fleet-footed, I believe. No! No, stop. I did not want to do that. What you want to do is right click, examine, you can see any buffs and stuff they have. Of course all these enemies are Trompedoy, but he doesn't have that anymore. Ah, that's annoying. That's fine. I'm safe over here regardless. Levitate. Hold up. Is Levitate something I've never seen before? No, he is burning, he's on fire, that's a debuff. I guess shocked? No. Yeah, I don't know what Levitate does. Bit weird. Now we do need to do magic damage, but unfortunately we don't have an easy way to do that. So instead I'm going to use Battering Ram to go over here. And then do that. Then we're going to hit Trompedoy with this. Then she doesn't... Where's Staff of Mages? That's not ready. That's fine anyways, we're going to kill him regardless. We cannot get over there.
Prepare yourself.
Well, he's not going to be able to do super insane damage. He will retreat after taking enough damage, he just hasn't yet. Oh great, he's got shields up. And let's go over here. Oh, well, sword. Can we teleport my Incarnate right next to him? Actually can. Yeah, we still have the gloves of teleportation. There's no reason not to get rid of him anyways. We are going to swap him out at some point, but if you need a good teleport skill, then, you know, they're the item to use it for. We will fortify Fang, because he needs it. And we'll end our turn. That actually should not have killed him. Yeah, that shouldn't have killed him because he's immune to poison damage and Lucilla does poison damage, doesn't she? Maybe it's a random chance, I don't know. It's this guy. Nothing. Now this chest here is a trick. The wheel loot is over here.
Careful now, that's a trap.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
Really? But now we'll go over this way. Down here. There is this box. There's nothing in it. But I think there's more items. Yeah, there's a chest over here. We'll get that. Now if you look on the map you can see exactly which of these. There's a bunch of doors in here but you can see which one's open. Obviously this one doesn't because there's no room behind it. It just leads to a cave. If you try and open it, then that happens. So while we wait for me to be defrosted, we're going to go over here, open this door. I think all the chests in here are fake. It could be one. Ah, it's the right hand one. But then there's an infection skill book. But now if you take a look around, it is a crafting Bible. We'll read it. Now if you know enough about Brackus Wax, there is some cool stuff you can do here.
You come to find, you come to search, but you won't find the way. A pity. Brackus has willed it. Trompdoy must abide. You have met the unfortunate guardian of this vault. You are kinder to him than fate has been. Do you wish to move forward? Listen closely and make your attempt. Brackus is a bloody, rotten, thieving, very, very awful fellow. Some even call him a cur. A cur is... You know nothing. Guess again. Listen closely and make your attempt.
You do have wills to answer.
Brackus is a bloody, rotten, thieving, very, very awful fellow. Some even call him a cur. A cur is... Either you're very good at guessing or the slightest bit clever. Let's find out for certain. Listen closely and make your attempt. Source is a scourge, a devil, a misery, a blight, a hex, a curse. And yet, the cure is... Fool, you are unequal to the task at hand. You will...
Yeah, he just breathes fire on you if you get a one. But if you have 4 characters, you can just guess.
You come to search. I cannot help you. Brackus has will. Judge him, but do you wish to move forward? Listen, Brackus is a baddie. Either you're the listen. Source is a scourge. Perhaps you're not totally incapable after all. Or maybe Trompdoy told you the answers. Is that it? Is he hoping you'll... It doesn't matter in any case. The path is open. Go freely. I know little, but you have proven yourself a knowing traveler. I will answer what I can. Brackus Rex discovered the way. This he researched here, upon this isle. He could remove the source from any creature or individual. I saw the stars he used myself. They were most impressive.
We'll take our leave. He doesn't have too much to say, but basically he's saying that Brackus created the purging wands which can take source away from anyone. But yeah, you can pretty much just infinitely guess. But now if we go over here, well, we have some fights with Trompdoy again. Now, I'm trying to remember. Are bridges all around the map? Wait, don't I have tactical? Oh, I don't have Cloak and Dagger skilled up. Yeah, skeletons are gonna run out of their skills eventually. Not much we can do about that. But when Fane levels up next, we'll give him some memory. Because I could have used Cloak and Dagger, went right over to this trapdoor and followed him. It wouldn't have done anything. But it would have been nice. Because this bit... Well, the enemies are just going to constantly move about. This guy's a polymorph... cleric, I think? I don't exactly remember. They can be kind of worrying. And I know in the mod playthrough I'm going to show off some really cool class combinations. Because we're going to have some characters that overlap classes anyways. We're going to have that in this campaign as well. But it'll just be cool to show off some really interesting stuff. Ah, he's not knocked down. And he's an archer, so he's going to just use tactical retreat. Although, it kind of gives the Icona a bit of an advantage. Not gonna lie. Let's see, we will go for the encourage. The favorable wind. Soothing cold. And we will get some rain up here so we can cause some really cool electric damage later on. Ooh. So which one is moving next? He is moving next. We will knock him down. So we can just guarantee some extra turns.
Glory is mine.
Then we'll just hit him.
Show yourself.
And he's shown himself now. There you go. Global cooling. Don't remember what it does, but it freezes any water around. It didn't freeze all the water, so it's a bit strange about that. Never swap on Red Prince into the air. Where does Red Prince move to then? Oh yeah, never swaps just makes two characters change positions. To be honest, he kind of just helped us. Like, I don't see a disadvantage to this. As he's moving next, we will use Rallying Cry on Loser. That's one dead. Yeah, they kind of just helped Loser, to be honest. So I can use Blinding Radiance. I guess I could talk about some of the other characters, like Beast, for example. Beast is a Warfare Arrowforge character, which is actually kind of a cool sounding combination. It's just, in execution, it doesn't actually seem to work. Beast is probably my least favorite character just in combat. I'll be completely honest. That's why in the modded playthrough, when we have him, we're going to use the Forgery Mirror deliberately to change some stuff about, because I have an interesting idea for a class you can use. Let's see. These guys are okay to kill. We're pretty safe. Can I teleport my incarnate? That I can. Hello, boys. I guess one thing I will say, teleport is an Arrowforge skill. I'll probably go into Arrowforge a tiny bit. The main reason being, it's just fantastic to be able to swap with your incarnate. That's why the cat isn't too big a deal. In fact, I would say later down the line, you won't even need the cat. And we'll probably end up not using the cat anyways. Oh, we killed one. Great. I guess we just done our turn. Pew! And hit him. And hit him again. What's this magic armor at? Very little. This will do enough to put him to sleep. So he's asleep, which means next time his turn comes around, he's not attacking. Not that he'll get a next turn. But that's why chloroform is a very good skill, and sometimes it just ignores armor and just puts people to sleep. But Trompe, oh, that's good. Here's the adrenaline skill book, so if you want anyone to have adrenaline, then you can give it to them. Adrenaline is really good on magic users, because most of the time a summoner is not going to have a time where they can do much. And in Lucer's case, she could literally do a lot more in terms of offense. You have Band of Brachus, which is an okay ring. 1 intelligence, 1
As you
constitution.
pick up the ring, you feel a cold, dark pain shoot up through the bones of your arm. Your mind itches. You don't hear, but feel a whisper in the cavity that functions as your ear. It tells you to slip the ring onto your finger.
Yeah, it's a piece of gear that has something special, but you've also got the hatchet, which is a one-handed axe. Small thunder wound, you can see the effects that will benefit from there. On amulet, you dodge 3% more of the time. On armor, 5% air resistance. Air resistance is okay, it just never applies a secondary effect, so it's not as good as you would think it is. You can get some more sneaking, unidentified amulets. All sorts of cool stuff. I will be keeping an adrenaline book. You guys could probably tell why, because every character I have is probably going to get adrenaline, apart from Red Prince. Because he usually will never need it. But it's good for loads of classes.
That's plenty.
And here we've got a lot of gold to get. And I mean a lot.
You made it all this way.
He trembles and seems to shudder with a quiet sob.
I'm cursed, you know. Bloody Brachus bound me here to protect his vault. He has my soul in that jar just there, and I can't leave without it. As long as the jar stays unbroken, I can never truly die. I don't rightly know. This was the Source King's way. Befriend you, then destroy you. I was a fool to expect I'd be an exception. His favor was intoxicating. That's no excuse, but it is the reason.
The tears flow faster and faster.
I'm sorry.
Now, you do get 2 off, but
The jar before you glows with a blue light.
we'll just let this go
As
for whatever it
flickers
does.
and changes. It is at once a brightly coloured motley and then a deep grey. You hear roaring laughter and shouts, then the hush of silence. You think you can hear quiet, choking sobs from within. With a jerk, your mind is pulled to a beautiful palace court. It's filled with cheers, but you can feel the fear dripping from the walls. You see a jester prance in the court. He casts illusions, playing to his master's cruelty by picking on the weakest in the room. He lives for the laughter and applause. The scene spins, a new face, a new fool to make his master laugh. Don't worry, he's told, you'll always have your place. The door closes, and you see the illusionist in the dark of this dungeon. He's alone, surrounded by gold and deathly silence. Your hand falls from the jar, your bones prickling and cold after the vision. To die down here would be terrible. To live down here for eternity, you shudder at the thought.
Now, there are 3 options you can do. You can store the soul jar and sell it. I think there are item combinations you can make of it. You can smash the soul jar, which will actually free Trompedoy's soul. You can agree to help him and he'll literally say thank you. And I think it actually counts as a quest. He will thank you for doing it. I say he's in some bad of a man because I thought he was going to just say more dialogue. But he was a little bit insufferable where he just kept telling our characters to shut up, you know? Now, if you remove the lid from the soul jar and absorb the soul inside, you basically eat his soul. This gives you a source point. It's not really worth it. We have an infinite source. Quite literally, we have an infinite source of souls. We have an infinite pool of souls accessible at the ruined castle. there's no point in doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the jar and smash it to pieces. And there are other jars here.
The
Gratiana.
jar before you may have looked opulent once, but no longer. Now it's covered in grime, its paint chipped away, and its jewels long stolen. The soul jar rocks slightly, light flashing from underneath its lid. On its rim, you can just barely make out the name Gratiana. As soon as you touch the jar's cracked surface, you see a vision of splendor, silks, fine food, and decadent lechery. But underneath it all lies bone and blood. The vision shifts. You see burning villages, slaughtered women and children. You see her, purging wand in hand, standing amongst it all. She throws her head back and laughter echoes in your skull. A shadow falls across her, and you see a large, weeping face. She reaches out as if to comfort, but Brachus drags her back. You see her fall into the mire of the swamp, trapped. As you pull your hand away, you can feel a deep, longing sadness in your soul. Is it regret, or just sadness for a life that used to be?
We're going to slip the jar into the backpack and listen to our
The
companions.
terrible vision fades.
Gratiana's life was selfish and hedonistic. No mercy.
Whatever a person may have done in life, they can always be redeemed.
However her life began, it ended well. No one should be damned because of their youth.
Now with that jar we can do what we wish.
A soul jar rests between two fallen columns, emanating a faint odor of seaweed and timber. When you touch the glass, your vision wavers. You emerge on the prow of a fine ship. Your armor pulses with enchantment, dominating those who draw near. Your flag flies for Brachus Rex, a tyrant who traded for your soul. With his power, your flesh and blood is no longer relevant. The vision fades as the soul thrashes, trying to sever your connection. In the end, greed masters you. You seek out the tyrant's vault to retrieve your soul, but Brachus is ready with a trap. Thus imprisoned, you can only dream about what is out of reach. Your soul and that alluring armor. The vision shatters as the soul squirms away from you, curling up in the bottom of the jar. The soul jar pulses with trapped life force.
We need to store a soul jar in a backpack. Do I still have the book? This has to do with Scourge of the Seas, so we will be tackling that later on. We do have some cool loot here. Ice Fang. I recommend never buying the Ice Fang skill, but if you loot it, it's okay to learn. We do have an unidentified crossbow, which we're probably just going to sell and not even identify.
Look
But here,
wand. It
Persian
comes
wand.
within a sauce.
We're after Persian wands, and this is just one. Now we can equip it. I recommend equipping it on just the actual main character. Well, on whoever your summoner is, really, if you have a summoner. If you don't, you can equip it on anyone, and they gain a skill called Purge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out the Turtle's Claw for it, because the Turtle's Claw has gone pretty weak. But this gives me Purge, which I'll put over here. How Purge works: consume a corpse to gain a source point or steal a source point from a living character. Pretty good stuff right there. Like, we can either go back to Toronto and basically get a source point from him.
The soul jar stands on its plinth, glowing softly. From within, you can almost hear the whisper of a voice. You see, or rather, you feel, a far-off land. Frozen breath hangs in the air, pine needles brush your cheeks, and in your arms you can feel a weight. A body, dead. But you have hope. Your vision swims. You're older, but perhaps not wiser. You march at the head of a shambling host, the enemies of Brachus Rex melting before you. The scene twists again. Now Brachus stands before you, a beautiful woman at his side. You lash out in treasonous rage, but cold arms bind you. You're sealed away in a tower. Your screams fill the darkness. You feel a jolt and open your eyes to see the soul jar before you, lying still in the vault. Your hand falls from the jar and grips the pillar as you try to calm your ragged breathing.
Yeah, slip down a soldier and speak to
The
everyone again.
necromancer's memories fade to black, but the feelings remain.
They may have been a necromancer, but they did not feel evil. Misguided, perhaps.
Anyone who marches at the head of an undead host deserves whatever punishment they get.
One must wonder how many more lives they took. How much misery the scum caused.
Let me just check how many people calling for 35 minutes, right. So what we'll do is we'll get these 2 soldiers and the episode after that. Now I will say you can pick up paintings. Sometimes there will be stuff behind paintings. I don't know if there's anything behind these particular ones.
The jar on the plinth
But we'll
before
see.
you seems ancient, but is in surprisingly good condition. It's covered in pictograms that you can't understand, but you're sure you just saw one of them move. The pictograms spin to life, and you're dragged into a dream. You see the lizards of the ancient empire turning their backs on you, casting you out into the wilderness. As you roam, the human apes turn away from you, all but one. One smiles, one opens his arms, one says he'll take you home. Brachus Rex. He promises power, for a price. He picks off your golden scales, one by one, stripping you down to the bone. He promised you a crown, but all you got was shackles. You try to fight, try to reclaim what's yours, but a woman takes you by the hand and leads you to a tower. He promised he'd take me home, you cry. You are home, she smiles as she seals the door. This is where you belong. Your hand drops away from the soul jar, your bones tingling. In the back of your mind, you hear a small, scared voice whimper before fading to nothing.
So let's see what they offer.
Long-dead lizard's visions fade.
I can't help but sympathize with him. He just wanted to go home.
No amount of loneliness excuses wickedness. He helped a monster for selfish reasons.
What he did shames his people.
Yeah, so they already announced me. Well, Red Prince is agreeing that everyone should be allowed to live. But Lucerne and Fane are basically saying, fuck them.
This jar glitters and glows. From within you think you can make out the distant sound of laughter. With a jerk, your mind is pulled to a scene in a tavern. You see a dwarf in the center of the room, joking us all around roar with laughter. All bar the zombies, who are slavishly serving food and drink. The door opens, and a tall, beautiful woman stalks into the room. She's flanked by heavily armed guards. You can't make out her words, but see the fear in the dwarf's eyes. The dwarf mutters a word, and the undead lurch towards the intruder, but are cut down like wheat. The dwarf tries to run, pushing her friends into the woman's path, but is grabbed before she can escape. As she's dragged away to a tower, you hear her cursing Brachus Rex and his whore. Even when she's thrown inside and the door sealed, you can still hear her shouts. You pull your hand away from the jar, your head swimming. You can feel the dwarf's cold terror still throbbing in your bones.
We're still going to store that.
The vision fades.
She must have been acting against Brachus Rex for him to have come for her like that.
Honestly, making the dead do menial work sounds kinder than having the living do it.
Being locked in a tower was more kindness than any necromancer deserves.
Okay, so this time everyone unanimously agrees that, you know, she should be free. But most of the others just died pretty
His
much.
head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism.
Yeah, we don't know what this tower is, but we're fine with that. Now, if we click this lever, I guess we have the barrier from the beginning. There's no real benefit to it unless you had someone sneak around if you want to do a pacifist one. But let's see, we're going to go back to my dear Sanctuary. And we'll end the episode here, so I'm going to sell some stuff, obviously just to get some gold. And next episode we're going to go around and clear more fights. But we'll see if there's something specific I want to do. I do not know, but we will see later. So I will see you guys then.